Yeah, good morning, and thank you very much for hosting me. As you rightly said, I'm one of the founders of a social journalism platform called Sadaha, and we are one of the pioneers of social journalism in India, and we're very excited to be here.
Okay, cool. Pallav, why did you choose the name Sada Hub for your social journalism portal? Is the song Sada Hub have any impact on you?
Uh, yes, absolutely. I mean, when we started out, so there were a few parameters you pick and choose when you're naming something, right? So when we started out Satak, we didn't even have the term called social journalism. We weren't aware of that. So essentially, what we were trying to build was that our vision has always been that news begins to matter only after it's published. Because when different people consume news, they have different ways of interpreting it and reacting to it because it impacts them in a different way. So our objective was that news should lead to dialogue, should include people, should bring people on board, and should get them to talk about it. And that's how you build communities around news is what we had in mind. So uh, when we were thinking about it, so it was the bottom line was that the bottom line thinking was that uh, different people consume different sorts of news and they react to it in different ways and speak out in different ways. So the theory was that uh, it's our right to consume what we want and it's our right to react to something in the way we wish as long as it doesn't hurt someone. Right? So yeah, our right is essentially Punjabi translation or is an English translation of the Punjabi word Sadaha. And when we started off in 2012, Sadahak was honestly also a very popular song from the Rockstar movie.
Yeah.
So it was kind of inspired from that, and the lyrics of the song also gel very well with our own ideology and our thinking. So
Sada Hub Ethirak, right?
exactly.
Okay.
It feels really good when people connect to it that way. It's one of the brand recall factors that we get that way.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So our next question is that Masters in CSE from Boston University. So how was your college life? Just like
Uh,
you have done your masters from Boston University, so
right.
tell us about our college life.
Just before I get to that, one quick update. So I can hear Shruvi or Shruvi more clearly than Bhavna for some reason. I don't know if it's audio problem, but uh, so I can hear
Okay, fine.
Shruvi better.
Okay.
So coming back to my college life, it was quite fun actually. Boston is one of the most beautiful cities that one can be in. You know, Boston is a city that has close to 36 universities and hundreds of colleges. So
Yeah.
it's always beaming with students and it's always full of bright ideas and lots of energy. And despite the fact that temperature goes into minus 30 degrees Celsius, it's always a very lively place. And Boston University is one of the best colleges out there in the world, so it's even better. So that way, Boston and Boston University were just amazing. Uh, apart from that, give me one second. My college life, I've been in computer engineering, and there people are treated as nerds and geeks. So uh, I was always at my computer, especially, and it's either browsing something or playing cricket. That was pretty much my life in the college, even at Boston University, actually.
Okay, so have you ever thought that you would be an entrepreneur?
That was always a dream, actually. So I come from a family, I come from a business family. So that is something that was always on my mind. And if I didn't do this, I would be doing my MBA right now. So it was always a business thing for me. Yes.
And why you prefer the journalism?
It was essentially a passion. When I was in the US, excuse me, the only way one could stay updated with India or connected with India is through news platforms, right? Your NDTV.coms and IndiaTimes.coms, etc. And this was back in late 2000s, when First Post and all of these new outfits didn't take this back then. So I was an avid follower of news, and one day it turns out that one senior journalist was caught in a scandal, in the 2G scam, and that was earth-shattering for us because they were the only source of information about India for us, and these were the people that were pushing down their own agendas through our throats. And when we realized that, that was the first spark, and that's when we decided we need to be able to do something about it. So we started evolving how journalism should evolve into the future, given the digital and the social media innovations. So that's how we started. One corrupt journalist, you know, one corrupt journalist is what inspired us with that.
Okay. So how did you find your co-founders and your first employees?
Our co-founders, when I started off, I pulled in a couple of friends. So when I moved back to India, I didn't have very many friends here because most of my education was in the US. So I had to go back to my earlier schools, my high school and my plus one and plus two. And I had some brilliant friends. I mean, I had some long time friends from there. It took a lot of convincing. I spent about 3 to 4 months trying to convince them, convince their parents, etc. It took a lot of time to also get them to quit their jobs and quit their lives and join me. So it was quite a long run that way. But essentially, they were all friends. When I started off, it was friends, and so I knew my targets well, and I knew how to tackle them. It's just that it took a little longer than I had anticipated. So yeah, that's pretty much about it.
So can you briefly explain the initial situation in the Saga means your beginning?
I honestly cannot hear you. Can you, Shivi, can you take over that question, please?
Yeah. Can you briefly explain the initial stage of Sadahak?
Initial stage of Sadhak.
Yeah, like your beginning.
Uh, Honestly, it was a very unclear moment, right? I mean, I was a computer engineer by education, and that's where my strength lies. And all of my networks, all of my friends were also from the same background. And when we tried to break into journalism, it was quite a tough challenge. And so initially, I went out to meet with a few journalists, and it honestly didn't work out very well. And we had some family connections. So there was one gentleman at the Hindu that was helpful for us. He was guiding us in terms of thinking about journalism, in terms of understanding how journalists work and how journalists think, and how the media industry works, etc. So apart from that, we really had hard time trying to understand how journalism works and how people in the industry work, etc. But fortunately, we had a few friends that were helping us, and we believed in ourselves, and we knew what we wanted to do all the time. So we were focused on what we wanted to do. It was very tough to begin with, and as I was saying recently to some of my friends, right? We were the complete outsiders trying to break in and innovate in an industry that's almost centuries old. So it was extremely tough to begin with, but we've learned the trade by hard work.
Like, running a massive online social journalism portal requires a lot of manpower and financial backup. So how did you manage that?
Mhm.
How did
So
you manage?
one would definitely think we have a lot of manpower, but including our marketing, communication, support staff, office management, technology, journalism, management, everything included is only about 30 people, right? Compare that to some of the very new startups in the media space, which have at least 30, 40 journalists itself, and their technology team is entirely independent. So Compared to that, we are still a very small team today. Even until about 3 to 4 months ago, we were only 20 odd people. So we are still a very small team. We are looking at building a larger team over the next few months. In terms of finances, as I said, I come from a business family myself, so I had the fortune of my family believing in us and investing in the idea from the day one. And even to this day, actually, it's our families and it's some of the co-founders' families that have been investing funds into the platform. So fortunately, we've had families that have been very supportive in terms of finances and everything else as well. So
That's very good.
yeah, I mean, our problems, at least when we were beginning, was never money. It was always, how does the industry work? How do we learn this?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So when you started it in the beginning, definitely you faced many hurdles. So can you
Sorry?
share some when you started it in the beginning,
Hmm?
Starter Hub? So definitely you faced some hurdles. So can you share some
Yes.
experience?
So, again, the fundamental hurdles were always the same. I mean, always the ones I told you earlier, right? So, we had to understand how the journalism industry works. Because journalism is such a place where credibility is often the most important thing. And when 23, 24-year-old people want to get into an industry, where 23-year-old, 24-year-old computer engineers want to get into journalism, not a lot of people believe in you. They will be like, ये भी एक बंदा है जो एक website shoot करेगा, he'll do a lot of SEO, put in a lot of sneeze content, generate a lot of traffic, and then make some money and close the site. That's a perspective that people had. And I mean, back then it was also true. On my Facebook, I had at least 100 people who put in as founder and CEO, and their company was essentially a website that they closed down 3 to 4 months later. So we had that sort of a problem. So that was a fundamental hurdle. No one would actually take seriously. They thought we were. They asked us what we were smoking, or a lot of different questions, and that those were the very major hurdles, pretty much.
Okay. So what are your future plans?
Future plans at this time, we are actually, our biggest agenda at this point is fundraise. We've been running for quite some time and we've been doing well recently. We are getting close to. We actually crossed a million unique visitors last month, and this month we are doing better. So in terms of traction, we've been doing very well, and we just launched 2.0 of our platform the day before yesterday, and we've been getting super positive responses from there. So the next step for us is obviously to scale massively, and to go into the deepest parts of the country. So our challenge, as from a journalism standpoint, is that cities can be tackled by everyone. Cities and towns can be tackled by everyone because they are easy to access. So through social journalism, what we want to do is, given our strengths, we want to go into the remotest parts of the country and do some work there, and that is our biggest challenge. And uh, when we do that, that is when things get interesting. That is when we add more value to the society, and at the same time, it also opens us to create revenue opportunities, etc.
Okay. Okay. So during your this journey, you definitely receive some compliments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So can you share some of the best compliments till now you received?
This so the best compliment was actually the last weekend. So when before launching 2.2, so we wanted to create some buzz around it. We wanted to make sure that a lot of people noticed what we were doing. When so Satahak as a platform, when it started out, it went from private beta to public beta to a full public release. And when during each of those steps, we actually didn't tell anyone that we were actually doing that. We just hit a few buttons and said, all right, we are live, and then we went home. It was as simple as that. So we were so technically we were bad at marketing and PR and branding back then. So over time we learned the importance of how branding was and how important marketing is, etc. So we wanted to create a huge buzz around our 2.0, and so it was kind of a fickle idea, I suppose, that to introduce launching 2.0, we went out to people and said we are killing 1.0 or we are killing Sataha, pulling down the curtains on Sataha. And that that people or that conveyed a message to the people that we were actually shutting down as a company. And the kind of response that we got for that was very heartwarming. That was the best compliment that we could have ever got in our life. So there were so many people who said, you were one of the hopes that we had in journalism, is what some people said. And some people said, you're the only ones that are independent and the most forward thinking. And some of the people offer to, sort of pay us if finances are our troubles. So, there cannot be a better compliment than that. I mean, so much love and so much affection from the people, from our followers, and we had about 36 hours of window between the time we shut down and between the time we got back up again. And during the 36 hours, the number of phone calls that we got, the number of SMSs, the number of Facebook messages, and it was amazing. That was not something that I had anticipated. It was one of the best things that could have happened to us. So yeah, that was the best compliment. I mean, the kind of follow base that we built, kind of love that we've garnered over the last 2 years, that's the best compliment that we've got so far.
So great. Okay, so who is the role model for you and what inspires you to start the Sada Hub?
Uh, Again, as I said, the inspiration was a single corrupt journalist, and from there were different experiences for different people that we brought together, and we were we were envisioning different things. So, inspiration-wise, it's just that one single journalist, corrupt journalist, and apart from that, if we are talking about role models, there are different role models in different things. So, if I'm looking at if we are thinking through how a product should work, and if we are sitting down for a design discussion, then I guess my role model would be someone like Steve Jobs, right? The ultimate guru for everyone. But if you are talking about how to run a business or how to interact with people, especially if you have something about interacting with people, then Steve Jobs definitely cannot be your role model. It has to be someone else. So in different phases or in different parts of our operations or in different parts of my life are different people for role models. So there's honestly not one, but if there's one guy that I really look up to, and it is definitely Steve Jobs for his marketing knack and for his design skills and just the genius.
Okay. So definitely you have some short-term goals and long-term goals. So what is your
Right.
ultimate goal?
Sorry, your voice got cut off at some point. Can you
Actually,
repeat that,
I'm
please?
saying what is your ultimate goal?
Uh, Honestly, I haven't thought that far. I never really thought that far. The only objective was to make journalism worthwhile in the age of digital and the social media. To make journalism about people. And again, as I said, perhaps if you look at it that way, our long-term objectives or our ultimate goal is to give voice to the people in the remotest parts of the country, or even in the remotest parts of the world. So we have to give them voice, we have to give them support. That's the ultimate target.
So you want to empower them.
Absolutely. So we want to build communities, we want to help people speak out, we want to be able to help people such that they speak out or they live their lives.
Okay, well, that's great. Okay, so as it is a media house, so sorry, as it is a media house, so it is quite obvious to get criticized. So criticized by the
Mhm.
people. So how do you feel when you get that criticism, that kind of criticism?
Until last weekend, again, if you look up the kind of comments that we get on our Facebook page, uh, it's it's impossible to keep up with them. There's lots of hatred. There's lots of BSing. When we look at journalism, when we are talking about social journalism, right? We put people before anything else. People before country, people before religion, people before anything else. We put life and people before everything else. And in the process, what happens is we also give equal amount of importance to voices coming in from people that want an independent Kashmir. And when those sort of things are coming on board our platform, there are patriotic Indians who say we are anti-national or we are Paki funded or we are FBI funded, etc., etc. And they want us to be dead and they want to kill us or they want to sometimes rape our journalists, etc., etc. So those kind of criticisms are our bread and butter these days, actually. So we've learned to live with them over the last few months, but once we saw the kind of support and the kind of love that we have over the last weekend, no, none of it matters. None of the criticism matters because we, given what we heard when we were down, we knew what we are up to.
Okay. Okay. So can you call some of your team members to hang out so that we can come to know that what they are saying about what their views about.
About?
Hello, actually, I want you to call some of your team members to the hangout
Okay. Okay, okay.
so
Right
that we
now?
can have you about yourself. Yes, right now.
Okay, ठीक है. Let me see
Is
who's
it
around.
possible for you?
No, no, that's fine. That's not a problem. Give me
Fine.
1 second. Let me see who's around. Anna?
Hello.
ఎవరెవరున్నారు నలుగురు రండి ఒకసారి ఇటు క్యాబిన్లో. Okay, so apparently there's 4 members from the technology team available. I'm calling them in. Give them a minute and they'll be here for us.
Okay, so hello.
Yes, please.
My question is that can you describe your boss in 5 words?
Can I what?
Can you describe your boss, your CEO, in 5 words?
I wouldn't be the right person to answer that really. I'm the CEO myself.
Actually, I'm asking that guy.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling off the earphone. There's about 3 of us here. So they don't even know that I'm on a call right now. So you've got to give them a sense of what we are doing here.
Okay. Hello.
Just a second. Hello. Hi.
Hello. Hi, sir. Actually, we are from Indian News and we are taking interview of Palak sir here.
Okay. All right. I'm going to step out for a bit so that you can comment.
So I just want.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Bhavana.
Yes, hello.
Hello. So I just want to ask
Hello.
question from you. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Bhavana.
Hello.
Just a second.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, hi. Actually, we are from Indian News and we are taking the interview of the Pallab Bajuri and the Sadahat.
Okay.
Okay. So each one of you, can you describe your boss in 5 words?
Sorry.
Can you describe your CEO in 5 words?
in 5 words.
Yes. Each one of you.
First one is very friendly.
Okay.
Is workaholic.
Okay.
Regarding the work. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
You can say he's a perfectionist when it comes to work.
Okay.
And he is the brainchild behind Sadak and he is the think tank for us.
Okay.
For any department in the office. Being tech, marketing, design.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And anything more like you want to say about your CEO? to share the world about him that everyone doesn't know much?
We'll proxy that question to the CEO itself. He'll tell you himself. Chalo, he's back and.